introduce the basic conceptual framework regarding game theory. What are the basic conceptual tools which are used while doing the analysis of game theory? So let us begin with today's class. So first, this is not a very technical introduction. It's more of a this lecture is going to give more of a formal, I would say more of a intuitive introduction to game theory. So first, let us start with the game itself. Rather than we'll explain later on, we'll explain what is game theory, what are the features of game theory, what are the types of game theory, and even how to solve a game theory. So, but I'll just what I'm going to do is, instead of that, I'll go for I'll introduce the game itself, and I'll give a rough intuition how to solve it. Then we'll go to the formal definition of what is game and what are the components of game and its types. So this is a game which I've made, given a current scenario. This game is particularly relevant for the condition right now in United States of America, where the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, it's at its peak. Still, there's a certain part of citizens, US citizens, who are very adamant on not wearing a mask, even though knowing that wearing a mask reduces 70% of transmission of SARS virus or the coronavirus and COVID. Still, people are adamant. They feel that it's like they have been the government is violating their fundamental right of liberty, fundamental right to what to do or what not to do. They don't want to be tutored by their government, US government. There are many US citizens, mostly if you go by political affiliation, most of these citizens, they identify themselves to be a party, what is known as a Republican Party, and hardcore Trump supporters. So this is a game between two players. So who are the players? Any game has a players, multiple players. So in this case, you have two players. The first player is in this side, in the topmost side, if you can see the cursor. In this side, you have a government. So in this case, it's a US government, and it has a two choice. Two, I would say, action which it can take, or the strategy. First is what is known as it can make wearing mask compulsory. It can make, and so anyone who is not wearing a mask, they can impose certain fines or even harsh penalties, or it can make wearing mask voluntary action. So it may not impose any kind of restrictive legal action on its citizens. So in this side, if you can see the cursor, so this part is these are the choices available for the second player, which is in this case US citizens, particularly Trump supporters, you can say, or you can say the people of a Republican, people who support Republican Party, who are adamant on not wearing mask. So in this case, the citizen have a two choice, or the Trump supporters have two choice: either wear a mask or you don't wear a mask. So the problem like this, on part of citizen, on part of Trump supporters, on part of these people who are adamant on not wearing a mask, they always prefer for the preferences such that they always prefer not wearing masks to wearing a mask. So they don't like government, they don't like wearing a mask, and especially in a case when government is forcing them to do so. So in this case, if they wear a mask, if they don't wear a mask, and government makes it compulsory, they get 20, because in this case, since it is a compulsory, government has made it compulsory. If they don't wear a mask, they will be fined. So in this case, this number represents their utility. The number represents I would say the happiness or the sense of benefit. So higher the number, the better, higher the utility, higher the happiness. In this sense, so in this case, if government imposes compulsory, government makes wearing mask compulsory, then if they don't wear a mask, so they'll get 20 utility, let us say, and government gets 50 utility. What if government makes it voluntarily? If government makes it voluntarily, in that case, since they won't be imposed any fine, so they'll achieve higher utility In this case, it will be 50. Instead of 20, it will get 50, because now government is making wearing masks voluntary action. So in that case, but since if people don't wear masks, the infection will spread. So the cost of treating those citizens will also go up. So that's why the government utility will go down from 50 to 10, from 50 to 10. But citizen Trump supporters, their utility will go up from 20 to 50. So let us take another choice. If citizen make a choice of wearing a mask, in that case, if government makes it compulsory, then citizen get 100, and even government get 100. Citizen gets 100 in a sense that that they since they are not, since the infection, the rate of due to wearing a mask, the rate of infection is low. Even they don't have to pay fine, because they are wearing masks, they are not violating the government rule. So that's why they get 100. They get 100 utility. They get 100 utility. So since citizens are wearing a mask and infection is low, in that case, government will also get 100 utility. But you take another case, citizens are wearing a mask, but government is not making it voluntary. In this case, citizen will get 20 utility, because in this case, since it is not voluntarily, since it is not compulsory, so they are not imposed any fine. If they don't wear a mask, they don't have to pay fine. So in that case, the utility will go down from the happiness of this the citizen will go from 100 to 20. But since public is wearing a mask, so government utility will also go down partially by 100 to 50. So in this case, what we see is like, so even though this game is quite arbitrary, but what this says is that, see, there are two players. One is government and one is citizens. And citizens, they don't prefer to wear a mask. But if they don't wear a mask, infection will surge. So it will create problem as a whole society. So government, that's why they want to impose this compulsory fine, so that people will wear a mask, and that's why the infection will go down, and the even cost of treatment will go down. So in this sense, if you see, government, the strategy, the choices of what we call strategy, the possible action which government take is either make compulsory or not compulsory. What are the strategies of citizens? Either wear a mask or don't wear a mask. So how do you solve the problem? You can say that what will be the best case scenario? If citizen wear a mask, what is the best case scenario? What will be the best response? What is the best thing for government to do? Is that you still make compulsory. By making compulsory, you increase the utility to 100. So in this case, if a citizen chooses to wear a mask, still government will prefer to make it compulsory. That's the best response of government. So what if citizen don't wear a mask? In that case, government will. It is best for government to impose to make it mask compulsory. So in that case, it will get 50 instead of 10. Instead of 10, it will get 50. So in this case, we see. Irrespective of what the citizen does, government, it is always advantageous for government to make wearing mask compulsory. Thereby it will get higher utility compared to making a rule of voluntary mask wearing. It will get lower utility. What will be the in case if? So what will be the you take a reverse side. If government makes mask wearing voluntarily, what is the best response? What is the best response for citizens? So best response will be to not to wear a mask in that case. Because if they don't wear a mask, they will get 50 instead of 20. So, but in case if government makes compulsory, wearing mask compulsory in this to cell, you have to check what is the best response. What is the best response of citizen? In that case, it will be to wear a mask. Thereby, it will get higher utility than 20. So it will be 100. So if best response for government is to make compulsory, in that case, the best response for citizen is also to wear a mask, thereby getting this a solution, which is citizen will wear a mask and government will make compulsory of wearing a mask, both by attaining higher utility 10 by 10. So let us go to next case. In this case also you have two giant companies, Starbucks and SF Coffee. The choices or the strategy of these two players are this: either you advertise about your product, either you don't advertise. So if you advertise, because since you have advertisement, there's certain cost for there's a certain cost for advertisement, you will get lower utility, either your profit will be low in this case. Utility is measured by profit in this case. So if you don't advertise, you get higher utility. But the problem is there is a cost, but at the same time, if you advertise, there will be higher sales, and that's why you also are on higher revenue and profit. So for both companies, the choice is either you advertise, either you don't advertise. Even for Starbucks, either you don't advertise or don't advertise. Even for SF Coffee, advertise or don't advertise. So who are the players in this case? Players in this game, every game will have a players. In this case, there are two players, or two firm. Players of the firm, one is a Starbucks, other is San Francisco Coffee. So every player will have certain moves or the strategy. In this case, the moves or the action which are available to these firms is either you advertise or you don't advertise. Don't advertise or advertise. So what are the payoff? Payoff, we say, once you take a move, that move will give you certain return in terms of utility if you are a consumer, if you are firm, in terms of profit. So payoff are the profit in this case. So if payoff are the profit in the case, so advertisement increases firm cost, but at the same time it also increases revenue. So in this case, what you can see is like if SFC Coffee, they don't, let us check what is best for SFC Coffee. If they don't advertise, the total return is 15, because you have a lower cost, because there's a cost of advertisement is 0. That's why you have a higher return, 15. If Starbucks also chooses to not advertise, then both will get 15 of profit. So let us take another choice, which is the action, the move, which is our strategy of SF Coffee, which is advertise. If they advertise, if SF Coffee advertises and Starbucks does not advertise, then Starbucks will get 10 rupees profit, $10 profit, and SF Coffee will get $20 profit, because since SF Coffee is advertising, it is reaching larger audience, its sales are going up, that's why its revenue or the profit is also higher, it is 20. But since Starbucks is not advertising, so it is losing its customer, that's why its profit is less than SF Coffee, which is just $10. Let us take what are the same available option is like for same action is available for Starbucks. Either you don't advertise or advertise. If Starbucks advertises, in that case, if SF Coffee also don't advertise, both get 15. If Starbucks do not advertise and SF Coffee advertise, it get 20. So if Starbucks advertises, the other action is it can advertise its product, and in that case, if SF Coffee don't advertise, then Starbucks will get 20 and SF Coffee will only get 10. If Starbucks chooses to advertise, but SF Coffee don't advertise, SF Coffee will also advertise, both get $12 of profit in a way, because both will get higher customer and the market will be divided, so they will get less revenue, but still greater than these options. So what is the best thing for these firms to do? So let us ask from this strategy, from the point of view of Starbucks. So if Starbucks do not advertise, don't advertise, then they get $15 or $10, depending on what SFS chooses. So in that case, let us say if the Starbucks do not advertise, then what is the best thing for SF Coffee is to advertise and thereby get $20. So if Starbucks advertise, what is the best thing for SF Coffee to do is to advertise, because by advertising it gets higher return than 10, which is if they don't advertise. So best thing for SF Coffee is that if Starbucks is that even if the best response of SF Coffee will be to advertise. what will be the reaction if reaction for the different choice of action of SF Coffee? Let us say SF Coffee do not advertise. What is the best thing for Starbucks to do is to advertise and thereby earn $20 rather than $15. If SF Coffee chooses to advertise, what is the best thing for Starbucks to do is to advertise, thereby earning $12 rather than earning $10. So for both players, the best response for each other's strategy, each other best response for the best response will be advertise and thereby get $12 of profit. This particular outcome is also known as Nash equilibrium, where the one player is choosing an action, assuming the other player is doing his best, and same thing is repeated by the other player. He is also doing his best, assuming the other player is also doing best. And the choice of strategy, which where you have a best response, both players are giving a best response. Those outcomes are known as a Nash equilibrium. We'll discuss what is Nash equilibrium later on in detail. So let us take another example. This is essentially the competition between two giants. Two chip making giants. The market is in a form of duopoly. You can say the market is primarily captured of chip making, computer chip making is either by Intel or AMD. So in this case, the chip manufacturers has 5 actions instead of 2. First, let us say in this case, let us call this part AMD, and in this part, the row part, we call Intel. So row part is Intel, column part is AMD. So what are the actions available or the strategies available for AMD is HMLN. So H is high production, M is medium production, L is low production, N is no production. Producing nothing gives you 0 profit. That's why you see the return is 0, 0, 0 for AMD. Similarly, but the problem is that higher you produce, the higher the production, lower the prices will fall. That's why even the profit will be low. See, if you go to the other extreme, if one is not produce nothing, one is produce high. If you produce very high, the prices, since the due to expansion in supply, prices will fall. That's why you get 0 profit. If you do a medium production, you get 8 profit. If you do a large production, you get 9. If you do low, L is low, you get 9 unit of profit. Similarly, for in this case row player, as I've told you, it's a Intel. So if Intel produces a high amount of chips, then due to excess supply, the prices will fall. That's why the profit will be 0. If it produces nothing, since it is producing nothing, the profit will also be 0. So if it produces low, it has, in this case, if AMD, if you are assuming AMD is pursuing strategy of high production, in that case, payoff will be profit will be 9. If it chooses medium, it will be 8. So this game, what this game tells us that first in any game you can have more than 2 players, but right now we are restricting our game to just for 2 players. But the choices or the action can be more than 2. So this is an example where they are 2-player game, and it's a normal or the strategic form game. If any game is given of this kind of table where the actions are given or the strategies are given of both players and the outcomes are also tabulated in this form, so this kind of game we call it strategic game or the normal form game. So this is a game where you have a 2-player having 4 strategies or the 4 actions, and you have a different payoff. This is a payoff. So one thing you can see that producing nothing. If you whatever the Intel is doing, it is always better for AMD. If it produces nothing, it always gets 0. But if it's producing low amount of output, irrespective of what Intel does, it still earns greater than 0 profit. So L is always, we say L dominates N. It's a very technical jargon. When the choice of any strategy gives you higher payoff than the other strategy, in all cases, irrespective of what Intel chooses, whether it chooses to produce high, medium, low, or nothing, still producing low amount of output will give higher amount of utility, or in this case profit, than producing nothing, which is in this case is 0, 0, 0. So in this case we say strategy L dominates N. Strategy L dominates N because by choosing strategy L, irrespective of what my opponent, in this case Intel, is doing, I'll always earn greater profit than the other strategy, which is a dominated strategy. This is dominant strategy. This is N, so no, producing nothing is a dominated strategy. L is a dominant strategy. Similarly, if you see, if you go to the extreme, the other extreme, which is like, if you produce very high, let us go to this one. Similarly for Intel, producing low, this is L, the payoff is given here, 9, 1, 15, 18, 27. If we produce nothing, it gets 0, 0, 0. So L, low amount of production dominates zero production, or producing nothing. So even for Intel, L strategy dominates N. Because by choosing L, irrespective of what AMD chooses, whether H, M, small m, small l, or small n, it always gets higher utility than producing nothing. So in that case, one way to solve it, you just eliminate this row. You eliminate N row, this capital N. You also eliminate small n row. Then the game will reduce to by just this part. You have three choices, action for both players. Capital H, M, L for AMD, Intel, small h, small m, and small l for AMD. So similarly, we can also reduce. We can talk. We'll come back later on this game to how to precisely get the solution of this game. So now this is a one form of game which we are going to discuss, though it's not there strictly in the syllabus, but I thought it's good. So basically, this is a game. It can be thought as a entry game. So let us take a two retail giant. At least in Indian case, we had a Flipkart used to be the major player, online retail player, the online platform where people used to buy the product before the entry of Amazon. So let us say this entrant chooses. So entrant in this case will be Amazon. So it's a kind of competition between Amazon and Flipkart, and assuming that incumbent will be Flipkart and entrant will be Amazon. So if Amazon have two choices, either stay out or enter. If knowing that these two actions, Flipkart or the incumbent have two choices, either fight or don't fight. A fight can be in form of you give more discount than Amazon, so that the platform of Amazon is not viable at all. So let us take, if Amazon chooses to if Amazon chooses to enter, in that case Flipkart has two choices, either fight or don't fight. If it fights, then it can give heavy discount, so that heavy discount in platform such that the Amazon platform is no more viable. In that case, Amazon gets 0 and Flipkart gets 2 unit of profit, we can say that. But if Amazon enters and Flipkart don't choose to fight, rather they were willing to share the market, in that case Amazon will get 2 unit of profit and Flipkart will get 1 unit of profit. So if let us take another action. If Amazon chooses to stay out, in that case Flipkart has either fight or don't fight. In this case, if they fight, still the entrant will get just 1. The incumbent, Flipkart, will have a major amount of profit, which is 9 unit of profit. If they don't fight, still they'll get 9 unit of profit. Though it may sound counterintuitive that if some players are not, if Amazon is not entering a market, so how come you can have these strategies? But this is how do we do in a game theory. We try to devise all possible action. We have to think what will be the best strategy. So since this is a one possible state, one possible choice of Amazon, so we have to think the best possible response of, even in this case, even though it may seem very unlikely. But in real life case, I can say that the outcome of this game between Flipkart and Amazon was this: that Amazon, they choose to enter the market, retail online retail market, and Flipkart, incumbent, which is incumbent, they choose not to fight. And now we see the Amazon, both they are sharing the profit. By the way, but Amazon, the market share is largely dominantly controlled by they both are earning the profit, because Flipkart did not enter into any kind of fight between Amazon. So this is the outcome. So now we are going to discuss the formal definition of